And so there I was, standing in front of the man who had once told me, breathing won't fix your life. But something inside me shifted that day. Not because I wanted to be right, but because I finally understood something deeper. We don't breathe to fix life. We breathe to face it. Life will always bring weight. But breath gives us the strength to carry it. I remember looking him straight in the eyes and saying, I used to think breathing was just an automatic reflex. Now I know it's the steering wheel. He smirked, the way skeptics do when they've already made up their mind. So instead of arguing, I told him a story. It was a story about a woman I had once met during a talk at a recovery center. A woman whose life had been shredded by trauma, grief, and loss. A woman who had spent years using numbing behaviors, food, screens, substances, anything, to silence the storms inside her. She told me, I don't think my body remembers how to relax. I didn't say anything. I simply taught her the same breathing technique you're learning now. Slow in, slow out, equal lengths, and a soft awareness settling into the present moment, like dust in a quiet room. On the second day, she told me her hands felt warmer. By the third, she said her dreams were less chaotic. By the fifth, something miraculous happened. She laughed, a real laugh, not a polite one, not a forced one. A laugh that belonged to someone who had a tiny flame burning inside them again. I shared all this with the man standing in front of me. But instead of reacting, he only shrugged and said, coincidence. Maybe it was, but maybe it wasn't. Because healing often looks like coincidence to those who haven't experienced it. I wanted to challenge him, but then a thought flashed into my mind. Stop trying to convince, start trying to connect. So I asked him something simple. Have you ever felt like your chest is full but empty at the same time? He paused. A pause long enough to reveal that the armor he wore had cracks in it. Then he nodded, and in that moment, just one subtle nod, I understood something powerful. The body never lies. The breath never lies. The truth never lies. We think powerful healing must be dramatic, loud, or heroic. But some of the greatest turning points come from a single inhale, a single exhale, a single second of honesty. I told him gently, do one breath with me. If it doesn't work, I'll never bring it up again. He rolled his eyes. But after a moment he agreed. We stood there, face to face, two people with completely different beliefs, bound by the same human need for relief. I said, ready? He didn't answer, but his chest lifted, which was answer enough. We inhaled together, a slow breath, measured, controlled, a breath that felt less like air and more like a tiny invisible decision. Then we exhaled, a release, a letting go, a surrender that neither of us spoke about but both of us felt. Again I whispered. He didn't resist this time. He didn't question. He didn't smirk. He just breathed. Slow, steady, intentional. After the third breath, something changed. His shoulders lowered. His jaw softened. His eyes stopped darting around the room. He didn't say anything. Not immediately. But his silence carried a different frequency. A softness, a curiosity, a crack in the wall he had spent years building. And then he said something I will never forget. Why does this feel like relief? Because that's what breath does. It gives the body permission to stop pretending. It gives the mind a moment of clarity in a fog of confusion. It gives the heart the courage to be honest again. I told him, because this is the first inhale you've taken consciously in a long time. You're not breathing for survival. You're breathing for yourself. He didn't respond, but I could see the truth land inside him. Slowly, quietly, deeply. The breathing technique wasn't magic. It wasn't mystical. It wasn't a miracle. It was simply human. And sometimes the most human things are the most healing. I watched him sit down, place a hand over his chest, and breathe again. This time without instruction, without resistance, without ego. He wasn't trying to fix his life, he was trying to feel it. And in that moment, I realized something profound. People don't need more advice. They need more oxygen. They need space between the storms. They need a way back into their own bodies. Breath is that doorway. It doesn't ask for permission. It doesn't demand perfection. It doesn't punish you for getting it wrong. It simply says, let's try again. And that is the beginning of real healing.